Hello, this is Mr. Harold coming to you live from the corner of my dining room, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Beowulf paper. Now, we've already written a paper this year, the college application essay, but this is the first literary paper, so the rules are going to be a little bit different and perhaps a little bit more difficult. I just want to walk you through the instructions and walk you through some of the recommended pre-writing that I want you to do. So, first of all, in a traditional class, you had to turn in brainstorming, an outline with quotes, a written draft, a typed draft, and a final draft. Now, I think all of those steps are great, but you don't necessarily need to do them for this. All I need is some form of pre-writing, and then your final paper. So, take a look at this first section and see what's exactly needed. We'll go to the middle and take a look at the prompts. Now, you have 3 prompts here, and let me just explain them a little bit. The first one, argue how Beowulf's desire for glory can be perceived as a character's strength or a character weakness based on the traits that it causes him to develop. Now, you notice that key word that is underlined, or. You need to pick one. Is Beowulf's desire for glory a strength or is it a weakness? There's a good argument for each one, but you need to decide. You can't say both. Ultimately, you'll pick one and then think of 3 reasons as to why it's a strength or why it's a weakness. Those will become your 3 body paragraphs. In the second paragraph, in the second prompt, we have analyze how the universal theme of good versus evil is depicted through religious allusions, imagery, and symbolism in this epic poem. Now, this one pretty much writes itself. You have to argue that the theme of good versus evil is shown throughout the paper. And how is it shown? It's shown through religious allusions, imagery, and symbolism. Those are your 3 body paragraphs. The biggest mistake people make on this one, they don't talk about good versus evil. They just talk about the fact that there's good and there's evil. The whole point is the conflict. What happens when they conflict? Which side wins? Which side loses? What happens to society because of it? Think about those things. The final one, how does the epic poem reveal the values, traditions, and beliefs of the Anglo-Saxons through the portrayal of Beowulf and other warriors? So you need to show how this poem shows the values, traditions, and beliefs of the Anglo-Saxons. Those are your 3 paragraphs. Now, you might be thinking, what's the difference between a value, a tradition, and a belief? Well, here's my explanation, and you can take it or leave it. Now, a value is something that a society finds to be important. Think about in your own life. What matters to you? For me, it's lateness. If I have a friend who is always late, I get really upset. Meanwhile, some people don't care about that sort of thing. A value is more of a personality thing. A tradition is something that a group does often, over and over again, like a holiday tradition. So think about the types of things that the Anglo-Saxons frequently did. This isn't something they necessarily valued, but it's something that was a part of their culture. And finally, beliefs. Think religious beliefs specifically. What did they believe in? What did they think was going to happen after they die? Why did they do what they did on a daily basis? So that's how you'll tell them apart. Take a look at the requirements below. You'll see that this needs to be between 3 and 5 pages, follow MLA standards, and for those of you a little bit more daring, you can include a piece of research. Now, I'm going to skip the rubric here to the outline. You need a couple things. The first is you need a thesis statement. What is your paper about? As I just went through, some of them write themselves and others require you to do a little bit of creative thinking. Now, in the space below, this is the recommended outline. You'll notice that there's 3 body paragraphs, and in each body paragraph, there's 3 subpoints. Now, here's the method that I would like you to follow. In each paragraph, you should have at least 2 quotes and 1 specific example. If you do this for all 3 paragraphs, you'll be in good shape. Now, there might be a paragraph you want to have 3 quotes and no examples. There might be another one that you want to have 1 quote and 2 examples. That's fine, it can even out. But really, you should have 6 quotes total throughout this paper. I know that number seems arbitrary, but if you're going to have a thesis with 3 paragraphs, you should be able to back up each paragraph with at least 2 specific quotes. If you can't find the quotes, then it's probably a bad argument. You should pick something else. Below is a space for you to record your 6 quotes. What you might want to do is find your quotes first and then go ahead and plug them in up here. Or you might want to figure out where your quotes are going to go and then go find quotes that you could add to it. Again, I am not going to collect this. This is all on you, though I do need to see some form of pre-writing. Well, that's just a little overview on how you should work on getting this paper together. If you watch some of the other videos, you can see just what the paper should look like and what elements should be included in the final draft. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll recommend some people. And if I'm really nice, I might just help you myself. Well, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, and good luck writing the Beowulf paper.